and welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing fine. We are making some tofu banh mi's today. So the first part of this is going to be marinating our tofu because we want to impart flavor into it. And we're actually going to do two different kinds because we love Vietnamese banh mi's. And so I'm just trying to figure out how to make them ourselves. So the first marinade we're gonna do is gonna be a lemongrass marinade, and then the second one we're gonna do is going to be a ginger soy marinade. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is get our tofu going. So what I've done, and I've done this yesterday to be honest, I have kind of pressed my tofu and left it in, I used just a dish rag and with something heavy on it to start with. And then I just left it in the fridge in a plastic bag overnight. And we're just going to slice this. And because these are going in sandwiches, I'm going to slice it very thin. So we're looking at, you know, 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to guess. And then that way we'll have more to go on our sandwiches. So banh mi's are normally on like a French bread, kind of crusty bun. With cilantro, tofu, diced up cucumbers. Oh, that one's way too thin, but we'll eat it anyway. Some carrots. So what I've actually done is I normally pickle red onion. We use it on our salads and just to have it available for whatever. Salad, sandwiches, just imparts a really good flavor. So what I actually have done, and these are the onions, what I've actually done is just kind of taken some carrots, kind of julienne them, and I've put them also in the pickling brine, and they're gonna sit in there overnight. So now that we have our tofu ready, I'm going to just add it into my glass dish. And we're gonna do it kind of in layers. And then what we're gonna do is do our marinade and then just kind of move everything around. And we're gonna let it marinate for a while. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pan fry it and then make our sandwiches, assemble our sandwiches. So it's a couple of steps, but totally worth it. So tofu's are all ready to go. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on our marinade. And because I'm not using any oil, I am going to start with just a little bit of water. Way too much. So we're going to start with a tablespoon of water, and that's just to get everything moving. Now, I didn't go to get the fresh lemongrass, so I'm actually using like a tube. So we're going to play it by ear on this one. So we're going to start with a tablespoon. Let's do 2, because I want the flavor to really come through. Now, if you have the real lemongrass, what you're going to do is you're going to cut off the end, and it's very kind of fibrous. You're going to take off the layers on the outside till you get to the tender sprout inside, and that's what you're going to chop up. And you should actually blend it in a food processor to really break it down so that the flavors truly come out. So we're going to add that. I'm just going to start blending this. And then to this, we're gonna add a tablespoon of lemon juice. And that's gonna also impart more of the lemon flavor. Usually half of a lemon should be about a tablespoon, but we'll mix it around and we'll see if we need more or less. Okay. And to this, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. You can use sodium reduced soy sauce, or you can use tamari, which is gluten-free. I'm just using regular soy sauce today for this recipe. Okay. And we're going to use a couple of teaspoons of brown sugar. So with Vietnamese food, Asian food, you're going to notice that they're always going to have a blend of the sweet, the salty, the sour, the tangy. And that's how they balance all those great flavors, and everything tastes so good. So we're going to use 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, so just a little bit. And then we're going to use 2 teaspoons of grated garlic. Now I'm probably going to go a little over 2 because we like our garlic. And then we're going to just stir this. We're going to see, and I'm just going to try it. I'm going to add a little bit more lemongrass. So we're going to say 3 tablespoons. Perfect. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our tofu and we're going to spread this all on top of our tofu and we're going to mix it up. And we're going to flip it around, try to get everything marinating. And what we want to do is we want to marinate this for an hour or so. It doesn't have to be that long. It doesn't have to change color. We just want to impart some of the flavor in there. Okay. So again, just mix up your tofu, move it all around. Put your left foot in, take your left foot out, shake it all about. Okay. So now, when you press your tofu, it will help it to kind of dry out, make it a different kind of texture. And I am going to be doing a little tofu 101 kind of series, just for anybody new to using tofu. And during that time, I'll show you some tips and tricks on how to change the texture, how to make it different. So this one is done. And we're just going to let it now sit in the marinade for a couple of hours, and then we'll pan fry it. So we're just going to cover this up, put it in the fridge, and let it marinate. Hi, so we're back making our Bahn Mi sandwiches. I've got my griddle going, and we're just going to add our tofu. We're just going to fry this up, and then we're going to make our sandwiches. I'm going to actually turn this up a little bit. I'd like my tofu to be nice and brown. You can hear it sizzling. Oh, it smells so good. If you love lemongrass, you should smell this. It is delicious. And then what I'm going to do is, once my tofu is cooked, I'm going to warm up my bun right here on the griddle so it'll absorb some of those flavors also. So now we're just finishing up with browning our tofu. The other thing is too, tofu does not necessarily need to be cooked. So you don't, I'm just warming it through. I do like having a little bit of a char on it, a little bit of browning, but just so you know, you can have tofu that is not cooked because it's already kind of processed. So this is the lemongrass, and we're just going to brown this up, and then we're going to start making our sandwiches. So what I've done is I'm going to put my bun. Now, again, normally this is usually a crusty French bread that we would be using to make our sandwiches. I have these ciabatta buns, so we're just going to make do with what we have. And so I'm just going to take the tofu off, and I'm going to put my ciabatta bun in half and put it on the grill just to warm it up, give it a little crispiness to it. It just adds another dimension because everything is going to be a little bit softer. The tofu is soft, and our pickled vegetables actually soften a little bit, so you do want to have a little bit of the contrast. I'm not using any butter whatsoever. I'm just putting it down where I cook the tofu so that some of those flavors will absorb into the bun. And we're just going to toast this. So you can add several different things to this. I also have added at the end, you'll notice in one of my other upcoming videos that I made a Thai salad which is like a Thai coleslaw, and it's delicious on this plate. So now I'm just going to start making my sandwich. We're going to put on a couple of slices of the tofu. Our bun is nice and toasty. Now I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro. I love cilantro. If you don't worry, just leave it off. You can always add something else to it. Parsley or another green, or even some spring mix would be great on this. And just putting on my pickled vegetables at this point. Just remember, if you're enjoying these videos, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And bon appetit and enjoy!